Is it time for recess yet? I'm so glad you found time to join us here on the Childcare Director's Chair, where Erica Sacoccio shares her best practices that she's refined through her passion of directing childcare centers over the last 23 years. From parenting interaction, systems to save you time, money, and stress, to profitability. She shares it all from the Childcare Director's Chair.
Hello, welcome back to the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, I'd like to say thank you so much for hitting the play button. And if you are one of our loyal listeners, I cannot tell you, I tell you every day, but I can't tell you enough how grateful I am for you. I'm so grateful for those of you who continue to reach out, ask questions, inbox me, or give me ideas. I can't tell you how much it means to really just connect with all of you. And today I want to talk about the topic again of leadership. And I keep coming back to the topic of leadership. And as I create this podcast and I talk about all these different areas I know that I've gained expertise in over 23 years, leadership seems to be my favorite. I'm just not only passionate about talking about leadership, I'm obsessed by it. It's literally something I breathe every day. I think about all the time. Today, I am recording from a hotel room in Arizona. I came out this weekend. I find that when you could take a step back, it really does help you get clear. And I can really kind of see where we are going with this podcast. And we will certainly share all the daily tips and tricks and aspects that you need to kind of build in your toolbox to be a great childcare owner or director. But all those tools and tricks don't mean much if you're not a great leader or don't know how to use them. With that also being said, before we hop into today's topic, is I'd like to give a big shout out to Adrienne over at thrivingchildcare.com. She really, first, I'd like to say thank you for being my first business sponsor or supporter of our podcast. I appreciate the faith that you have and the work that we're doing here. So Adrienne and I were talking just the other day, and she said, Erica, you're giving out so many valuable nuggets. And sometimes when I listen to the episodes, I am trying to write all the things down, and I feel like I miss some of it. And so she said, you really should make some type of a handout or worksheet or something that's compatible with some of your episodes or checklists, because I find that the things you're saying are so impactful, and I want to be able to go ahead and implement some of them. And it's hard because I'm always taking notes and it distracts from truly listening to the podcast. So I'd like to thank her very much for that idea, and I am going to go ahead and do just that. So on our website, we will start to put some content there. Until my website is where I want it to be, I may even just attach an attachment on our Facebook page. So once we do that, we will let you guys know, but that's going to come much sooner than later, because I'm doing this podcast to help build our community. It's certainly not to talk to myself in a closet or a recording studio. It really is so that we can all come together and share what we know and support each other and build each other. And so let's do it. So that's my purpose. So today's episode, we are going to talk about leading with purpose, or having a purpose-driven leadership style in your program. It's more than inspiring and empowering others, but contributing to something greater than ourselves. And so I really think that it's an important topic. So the first thing we have to do is let's define your purpose. I want you to take the time to reflect on your personal and professional values and really give that some thought and effort. Consider your passions and your goals and define your purpose. Like, what drives you? What motivates you? What gives your work meaning? And, I know that we get rewarded by, in income, right? And for some of us, that income is quite nice. But that nobody is really, truly motivated by money in the way that they feel this internal connection or gratitude, right? Money, you need money to pay bills. You need money to do things. You need money to provide high quality. But that's not your purpose. Like, what was your why? And continue to focus on that. And that will bring you such great joy. So clarifying your purpose will guide your decisions and actions as a leader. Once you have defined your purpose, it's really important for you to be able to communicate your vision. Articulate your vision clearly and passionately with your team. Help them understand the why behind what you do and how your work contributes to the bigger picture and how their work contributes to the bigger picture. An effective communication for your vision fosters alignment, motivation, and engagement. And I think that the vision can change. It does change. I feel like my vision for my program has changed over time. And it should. When you're growing and you're taking in that feedback and you start to implement your ideas, you get better and better at it. And your vision becomes larger in many times, or it becomes more focused. So I would say that once you're able to communicate that vision, check in with yourself every once in a while. Are you still on the right path? Also, leading by example. You want to be the living embodiment of your purpose and your values. You have to demonstrate integrity, authenticity, and commitment in your actions and your decisions. And really be you. Don't try to be anybody else. It's okay. It's okay to not feel like you're quite there yet, because we're all a work in process. We're all a work in progress. Your behavior sets the tone for your team, and it inspires them to follow your lead and be somebody that they really want to follow. Because honestly, if you're not able to share why they should care about what you're doing, they might just come and clock in and clock out, right? Or the ones who do want to give their all to a place, they really want to contribute to a place with purpose. And they need to understand their role in that. And so that brings me to empowering others. Create opportunities for your team members to contribute meaningful work and making a difference. Empower them to take ownership in projects, to make decisions, and to innovate. Not all the ideas have to come from you. Trusting and empowering your team fosters a sense of purpose and autonomy that we need as human beings, especially adults. They need to feel as though they're part of something bigger. And it's up to you to help them, be able to self-realize the work that they're doing, right? And fostering a culture of purpose. You have to cultivate a culture where purpose is woven into the fabric of your organization, recognizing and celebrating the meaningful impact of your team's work. Encourage collaboration, creativity, and learning in all service that we share, and that we all have a shared purpose. You want to align your goals with purpose. Ensure that your team's goals and objectives are aligned with your overarching purpose and vision. Help them understand how their individual contribution contributes to the larger mission. Aligning goals with purposes creates focus, clarity, and motivation. And I think we can kind of all be guilty of this, because it's, for some of us that we've gotten really good at talking about our programs. This is what we believe here at XYZ, right? Here's the policy at XYZ Center. Here's why we do it. But if that person does not understand their role in the vision and what they contribute, it can get to a place where they don't feel like they matter. And that's very demotivating. And when that happens, that's when you start to see people just checking in and checking out. You have to listen, and you have to adapt. Listening effectively to the needs, feedback, and aspirations of your team members. When was the last time that you asked your team members what was their aspiration? Where did they see the company going? Where did they see they fit in? So make sure that you're listening, and adapt your leadership approach and organizational strategies to better support their growth and fulfillment. Creating a culture of listening and responsiveness builds trust, and it builds loyalty. And that's something that we're all looking for right now, right? Every Facebook page you go on where there are childcare directors talking, or questions and polls, the biggest concerns, complaints, stresses are around lack of work ethic, lack of people interested in a job, lack of loyalty as people jump to the next center for 25 cents more. Or do they? Maybe it's you haven't really been so great at letting people know where they fit in. Do they fit in? What can they do to play a bigger part? So those are conversations that you really should be having during your one-on-one meetings with your team, which if you're not doing that, we did have an episode about why it's so important to have one-on-one meetings with your team members a couple weeks ago. So If you haven't listened to that, I would definitely tune in. And you want to invest in development. Prioritize the personal and professional development of your team members. Provide opportunities for learning, skill building, and career growth that aligns with their individual passions and aspirations. Investing in development demonstrates your commitment to their success and fulfillment. Please don't be afraid that you're going to grow them out of your program. I'm telling you right now, I've grown many, many people out of my program, and I almost count that as a success. And many of them reach back, turn around, lift their hand up, they're advocates for our program. I have staff that have worked for me, or with me, I should say, who are now school teachers in the local school department. And when people ask them where to send their children for childcare or after school programming, they refer them to us. And so although they may not necessarily work for my program anymore, they are champions for my program. And so that feels really great. And I feel good in investing in the team. And sometimes they stay, and sometimes they become your next director, or they allow you to be able to spend more time focused on the things you really enjoy in the business. And then maybe they take some of the things off your plate that you don't necessarily love, that you're not passionate about. So make sure that you're always investing in the development of your team. And really, at the end of the day, that's what being a good leader is, right? Feeding your staff, taking care of your team, taking care of your families, taking care of your community, and measuring your impact. Establish metrics and indicators to track the impact of your organization's work in relation to its purpose. Regularly assess progress, celebrate successes, and identify your areas of improvement. Measuring impact provides valuable feedback and accountability. And you don't know how you're doing if you don't measure and track it. So maybe one of your goals is this year you want to open up a state-funded pre-K so that children who don't have access to high-quality program have access. Maybe the family makes too much money to qualify for CCAP, but maybe they make not enough money to pay for a full day service, right? So maybe it's, you're measuring the impact on the number of children you serve and in the ways that you serve them. You also want to inspire continuous improvement. Encourage a mindset of continuous improvement and learning within your team. Embrace challenges and failures as opportunities for growth and innovation. Inspire continuous growth. It fosters resiliency, adaptability, and long-term success. So there you have it. You have 10 actionable steps and strategies for leading with purpose. I want you, before you shut off the podcast, take a piece of paper and write down 3 areas or 3 of these tips that you are going to implement tomorrow. And better yet, if you're listening to this in the morning, today, I want you to write them down because I want you to take action. I want you to be successful. And so that's why I'm going to turn in every day a new podcast for you. And please visit us on our Instagram or our Facebook. Hit us in the inbox. Let us know how you feel about the podcast and what areas of leadership or running a successful childcare business you'd like to know more about. I do appreciate your support. If you feel like you would like to support our show, just like Adrian does, you can click the show notes below, and there is a support our show tab. There you will also find an affiliate link for thrivingchildcare.com. Adrian's products, if you haven't checked into her online store, she has products that will help you stay organized. She has some courses online that you can take that will help you with many different factors of running your own childcare business. We talked about one a few weeks ago about how to use AI, develop handbooks, and just all different types of materials that you need for your program. Writing parent letters, just things that will save you time and money. And so I think that that's really important. So that's it for today. And again, like I said, remember, it's the small details that make a big impact in your childcare business. So thank you. And as always, have a great day.
Well, all the cute little kiddos have been picked up and it's time to go home. And that'll do it for another episode of the Childcare Director's Chair. Please leave a review so Erica knows the information is helping you to manage and improve your childcare centers. Remember to subscribe to get the latest episode from Erica's Childcare Director's Chair.